Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mom.
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yep, thank you for joining with us again. And thank you for following along as we are continuing our New Year's Eve TV shows.
Yes, and we have another special one. And Mom, what is this one?
Today we're talking about Friends.
Yes, it's our first time speaking about Friends on the channel. And this one released December 16th of 1999. And Mom, what is it called?
This one's called The One with the Routine.
Yes, and so are you excited to get into it?
I am, Brandon, I am. And we're finally able to talk about Friends. And in this particular episode, Ross and Monica have a chance to be on Dick Clark Live, and they do their best to be seen on the dance floor. And then for the other part of the episode, the others are looking for gifts that Monica has hidden. And that's the essence of this episode.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, Brandon.
And overall, what did you think about this episode?
You know what, Brandon? I have seen quite a few episodes of Friends. I will admit I did not watch it when it was on originally. However, I have watched them throughout the years, and so I have laughed out loud on so many episodes. This one for me was just okay. I watched it; it's tolerable. Yes, you'll be fine watching the episode. However, it did not make me laugh as some of the other episodes have made me laugh. Your thoughts, Brandon?
Well, that's perfectly understandable. And so for the audience to know, I have never really seen Friends. We have watched, we haven't spoken about it yet on the channel. We have watched the first episode a few months ago. And so for me, this is really only my second full episode watching.
Yeah, it is. It is only your second episode, Brandon, and I'm sorry that we haven't talked about the first episode, so I don't want to say anything about that. However, I'm sorry that this was the second episode that you saw because it's so out of context for you that it probably was hard for you to figure out what in the world was going on with who and who's related to who and who is dating who because that kind of changed along the way. But anyway, um, it was for someone who has seen several episodes, this was just an okay episode. So I promise you there are better episodes to watch.
Well, for those who are new to the channel and don't know, is that many of the shows I watch, we start out of order anyway. It wasn't until starting this channel that we actually started watching things with an actual episode one. So it wasn't as, I guess, out of context for me as it probably would be for most people in their second episode, but nevertheless, I did get a kick out of sort of I would say sort of the cross promotion of Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve, even though different networks. And as a fun fact, they actually didn't have Rockin' New Year's Eve that year.
That is so funny. That is so funny. And then one of the things that you quite don't know what I did, Brandon, I kind of watched another New Year's episode also. And so I believe in the other episode I saw that they talked about Dick Clark too. So, and I know Dick Clark is very important and I know it was a thing, and especially back then. So it was interesting to see two different shows, especially on different network, being able to speak about Dick Clark.
Yes, and I know, of course, we will be watching, the current iteration of Rockin' New Year's Eve, this year. And Mom, can you believe that we're already at that time of the year?
I know it is so hard to believe that we're already at that time. It is. It is. Well, Brandon, as you know, I rate all these shows 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. And this one I gave, and we're just talking about this particular episode, mind you. I gave this one a 2.5. What about you, Brandon?
Mom, I'm going to have to agree. And a part of that is, of course, that I don't have some of the subtext context, but also there wasn't really anything that per se stood out. But I will say something interesting about this episode is
And what
not
was
only
it?
is this, yeah, not only is this a New Year's episode, it's also kind of a Christmas episode, but also neither at the same time.
Yeah, they do mention that at the beginning. They make, well, somewhere through the middle, I should say, they make a point about saying that Dick Clark was taped, or at least the portion that for the dancing portion where I guess the singer, the designated singer of the day is singing, that part's taped a couple weeks in advance.
Yes, and so because of that, they said the timeline of this is about 2 weeks or so before New Year's, also making it before Christmas. So we have a Christmas plot and a New Year's plot in the same episode.
Yes, yes. And we don't know how realistic that is. However, this is, of course, based upon 1999-ish time frame.
Yes, but mom, does this fit into sort of like not just our New Year's criteria, but would you say it even fits in, the Christmas criteria, somewhere in the middle?
I think this one's somewhere in the middle because I had a hard time finding the message for this one. So I kind of pulled things a couple together for the New Year's, if you going along with the New Year's thoughts. And so I said that they talk a little bit about enjoying time with each other, but at the same time we've got the subplot that I thought was important, which kind of was don't look for hidden gifts, which it sounds silly, but why spoil the surprise of Christmas and look for these gifts that people have spent a lot of time trying to buy for you. So, yeah, so those are the two kind of meanings that I kind of got from this particular episode.
Yes, and I definitely got that, as well. And so overall, I mean, I think this is a pretty suitable episode to sort of bring both of those specials that we've been going through these episodes to a close. And so, do you have any overall reflections for either this episode or for this theme? Do you even remember all the shows that we've discussed for the Christmas and New Year's themes?
Brandon, we have talked about so many shows. It is hard to say. I will say this that we have watched a lot of shows that we have not talked about on here. So we have what is nice now is that we can pull some of these together. And so you will see us talk about some of these shows. I won't say soon, but we will talk about some of these other shows and pull those first episodes so we can kind of look at it a little differently or from a different lens, I should say.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, especially in the couple years we've been doing this, we've now have what's said quite a bit of holiday episodes we've discussed, and like you're saying, new shows that we hadn't spoken about yet. And so, who knows? Maybe we can speak about some more of these shows. Let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. And next year, I will say, should be interesting because we've hit so many, holiday specials that looking ahead, especially for shows that we kind of watch on a regular basis, will be really interesting. We're going to have to be pretty creative trying to find different episodes of shows that we ourselves are able to relate to. We know there are other shows out there, but for the ones that Brandon and I relate to and are able to speak about pretty easily, that'll be interesting to do next year.
Yes, I mean we're running out. I mean, soon you might have to go to a Christmas Carol, Mom.
Oh no, I'm not going to a Christmas Carol. Uh, Brandon's referring to the fact that I don't really care for the Charles Dickens story. I'm sorry. And so anyway, I will say with this particular episode, friends, there is one scene that I did like, and I did like and got a kick out of it when they did do the dance. That made me giggle. And if you've seen this episode, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I also did find that enjoyable. Oh, and I did like the whole thing of going back to that message of a part of the gifts is not necessarily the gift itself, more so the reaction of you watching the person open the gift that you picked out for them.
Yes, yeah, that's true too. It's true too. All right, Brandon, did we have any connections?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. All right. Then we thank everybody for watching.
And we want to thank you for tuning in throughout all of our 2025 discussions.
Yes, thank you so much for joining in with us, and we look forward to speaking with y'all next year. Have a great day, everybody.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye bye.